never turn, I'll never bend. I'm with you now until the end.
But this is just the beginning of this evening's May 20th InfoWarrior. Hello, folks. Welcome this Wednesday evening. Breaking news off of WikiLeaks. I'm really starting to love WikiLeaks. Maybe my favorite website out there at this point. They're turning over all these Bilderberg documents showing that the Bilderberg Group was behind the European Union, behind the Euro, behind globalization. Not a golf club like they said for all those years, and not an organization that just didn't exist like the media said for all those years. A real organization that does set policy in private and changes up their membership. You know, I was looking at that yesterday, and the guy who started a PayPal and Facebook were there this year. Very technologically savvy. And, of course, Kissinger and Rockefeller, who are always there, were there as well. Larry Summers was there. You name it, the who's who were at Bilderberg in Greece this year. Now, why am I bringing up WikiLeaks? Well, I have these two brand new CDC documents in front of me. This is off of the 18th, so this is relatively new. This is from Monday. And if you'll notice right here at the bottom, it says day of planning for an H1N1 vaccination campaign. Oh, they're getting ready to vaccinate you on a massive level. And I got a story out of Reuters where they're saying 4.9 billion people. 4.9 bill. I mean, I think that leaves about 1.6 bill that won't take it. So that's 1 in 4. That's how they're going to have 4.9 billion flu shots for you. Think about that. And here's the updated version. This is how awesome WikiLeaks is. This is today's document. 24 pages of fear-mongering right here. And, you know, the CDC is still claiming, oh, we have 6 deaths in the United States, all from swine flu. So they're counting that kid. They're counting that woman. Then later in this report, they actually have to admit that a lot of these people did have chronic illnesses beforehand. Where is it? But they don't put that into play. Let me see where that is. Let me see if I can pull that out. Here we go. 71% of hospitalized patients had an underlying chronic condition. Here, look for yourself again. Right there, I highlighted it. 71%. That's across the world. All right? And some of those include asthma or COPD. Asthma is not a chronic condition. I don't know why they actually included that. Diabetes, immune compromised, chronic cardiovascular disease. Remember that one guy had gout? He could barely walk some days. It's just insanity to me. And the fact that they're going to have 4.9 billion vaccinations means they're planning on using them. This isn't 100 million. This isn't 200 million. This isn't 300 million, the population of the United States of America. This is 4.9 billion. Let that sink in for a moment. 4.9 bill, dog. That is rather large. That's a campaign to vaccinate the world, the globe. Here it is right here. Companies could vaccinate 4.9 billion against H1N1. World Health Organization. And remember, if they just go to that pandemic level 6, they went to 5, mandatory vaccinations, no civil rights, quarantines, and drugs that don't need to work. Let me repeat that. Drugs that don't need to work. Doesn't have to be proven that it works, doesn't have to help you in any way. They still want to stick your arm with it and go, oh, take it. Man, I wish I had that in front of me, but all the other news that we've been doing with CPS and all that good times has overshadowed the World Health Organization document. I'm going to have to find that. 4.9 billion, folks. On top of that, we got a lot of RFID news. You know, we've been big on the chip this week. Well, we're about to get bigger. Or is it smaller? That's right. RFID tags in paper, amongst other things. We'll be back after this. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason BERMAS, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.
The good old folks at New Silver Solution. And the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at Infowars.com. Supernaturalsilver.com.
Companies could potentially turn out 4.9 billion doses of vaccine against the new H1N1 influenza strain within a year. Under the best case scenario, the World Health Organization officials said on Tuesday. WHO Director General Dr. Margaret Chan, and remember, Chan is the one out there fear-mongering, oh, we're going to need to go to level 6. We're going to need to go to level 6. And she's the one that's just like, there's no way this could come out of a lab. That's just fear-mongering. Meanwhile, the guy who created Tamiflu, one of the main guys, says, well, that's actually one of the simpler explanations, but he spins it and says, well, of course it would have had to been an accidental escape. Meanwhile, the CIA in 1971 releases African swine virus on the Cuban population. Coincidence? Coinky-dink? I doubt it. I doubt it. U.S. health officials said they were finding higher than expected numbers of cases of seasonal influenza still circulating and worried that a drug-resistant strain may mix with the new H1N1 swine flu strain to create a dangerous new strain. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said it was essential for drug makers to work with governments to see drug makers and governments together again for the millionth time. For the millionth time. They are so in bed together. How can you trust these people? Please tell me how you're going to trust these people. To avert the worst potential impacts of the new H1N1 strain, which has killed 81 people and been confirmed in nearly 10,000 globally. Now, I can knock 2 off right off the bat. Okay, because in these documents, they're still fear-mongering that baby and that 33-year-old woman died of swine flu. They didn't. Let me repeat that. They did not die of swine flu. The Associated Press report about the woman starts saying she died of swine flu, and then says, well, Texas health officials did fall short of actually saying that she died of swine flu. And then it interviews a guy, yeah, she had this chronic illness and that chronic illness, and she was in the hospital from the 15th of April, didn't look too good for her. Give me a break. And there's even more fear-mongering than just this, saying, oh, we're going to have 4.9 billion. Think about that massive vaccination campaign. And remember, here's the internal document saying they are planning it. Do we really need the internal document, though, when we have, them on the Today Show talking about a 3-spot shot? 3 separate shots, mandatory, Obama administration style, for this swine flu. That's a reality, folks. That's what's being proposed. I know a lot of you like fairy tales and, happy times, but this isn't cotton candy and ice cream. Okay, this is reality. Sometimes we have to put our big boy pants on and understand that there's a larger agenda out there, not just roll up the sleeves and take the vaccinations. This one is out of The Sun, which is a big tabloid-style paper, kind of like the New York Post, out in London. A deadly strain of the superbug MRSA could team up with the swine flu to kill thousands, experts said last night. The drug-resistant bug triggers a lung condition that kills half of its victims in under 72 hours. Now, this sounds a lot like the fear-mongering that we had 2 weeks ago at a UPI, where they said that this flu virus was going to combine with HIV and create airborne AIDS. You don't hear a lot about that. You don't hear a lot about this. But just that these stories are in the mainstream and people are reading them, it puts in the back right here, right in the subconscious. Oh, this swine flu is super dangerous. I'll do anything the government says. Just take care of me, good government. Just take care of me. I need someone to take care of me. I don't want to get sick. And then right there, it's just this putz in a surgical mask. And someone else sent me a link earlier today. I didn't really get into it too much, just because it was this company trying to fearmonger and saying, hey, get your free mask. Get your free mask. Get your own free mask, going to protect you. Oh, by the way, don't forget to get your Tamiflu as well. See, right there with the free mask, they got a link to the Tamiflu. So the drug companies are trying to use this fear to get you to buy a drug that doesn't work, admittedly. Yeah, Tamiflu is not going to help you against this swine flu virus. Remember, not really swine flu. 3 types of flu. 2 strains of, at first they were saying it was 2 strains of bird flu, avian flu. And then they changed it and said it was 2 strains of pig flu, and then 1 strain of avian flu, 1 strain of human flu. So who knows? All we know is it is a combinant virus.